All right, Dom, it's that show.
That show, Adam.
It's a show that just can't stop.
Right.
I mean, now we're trapped in here.
Yeah, we are.
We couldn't stop if we wanted to.
No.
It's
Can't
two.
stop, won't stop.
Right.
It is that show. Two Detroit nerds back at it again. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a great guest in the studio here, the great Kris Lamar.
Yes.
What up, Kris?
How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. Thanks for taking the time to come and hang out with us.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, man. I know, this is a secret location, and I know it took, 4 or 5 days to get here. We had first get on that train to Siberia, then it was horseback riding for a little while. But we're here now, and appreciate you making the trip out, man.
No problem, man.
So I was really excited to talk to you because I felt like when we had met on Art Night, shout out to Art Night, by the way.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Art Night
Big up
Detroit.
to Nate.
If you're in the city, you should check it out. But we had met at Art Night. You told me you were a fan of anime, so I was like, man, we gotta get you on the show. Before we started just now, you were telling me you're a little more than a fan of anime. You actually were, for all intents and purposes, going to be a student of anime.
When I was younger.
At a certain point in your life. So I think I would love to just start there. Like, what sort of inspired you at that time to get into anime?
Not gonna lie, a big part of it was just like a need for like escapism.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I kind of grew up an only child, and my parents was like busy a lot. So
Yeah.
I was kind of like at the crib, so it really put me in a mindset of just really indulging in my imagination and really escaping reality.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got a hold of anime, it gave me a chance to do that.
Yeah.
It just, and it would be to the point where like I would watch like whole seasons in like a day or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Binge watching it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But it really inspired me just to value friendship a lot. It put a lot of emphasis on friendship. For and I really put a big value on like the friendships and connections that I have in the real world. Moving forward, and it also put a big emphasis on like just accomplishing your goals and like having that drive and motivation to like go past the status quo or go past like what is whatever like adversities are ahead of you.
Right.
So
Yeah.
put me in that kind of mindset, and I really found it like just like inspiring to like watch. And then I was like, then I was also like younger, and then fan service shit also caught my attention.
Yeah.
Of course.
At that,
Especially
at
as a
younger
kid.
age, oh shit.
Yeah.
So that was part of it too. But
Yeah.
which caused me to have like a big diverse of like more philosophical animes and more just like fan service animes. So
Right.
I have like a big variety of like just trash anime and decent anime.
Yeah,
Right.
You got to have a good spread, especially back then, of like it's different animes for different reasons.
I was just learning about waifus,
Yeah,
Right. 100%.
exploring the wonderful world of waifus. It's crazy.
Our young brains were not prepared for
Nah.
what that was going to show us. But
Yeah.
I guess just starting at that point, then like. I know you told me a couple of titles when we talked about this initially, but just because we're on the show, like run me through it again. What were your top animes when you were getting into anime?
When I was getting into anime, the top ones, I didn't even tell you all of them actually.
Right.
Can I cuss on here?
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Fuck. All right, cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the top ones I had were Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon, Pokemon, but like the first anime I think I really ever saw was Sailor Moon actually.
Oh, okay.
I was at my cousin's house, and I don't know. I think my cousin, probably I'm not gonna say her name. Like my cousin, she had it like on a cassette tape.
Yeah.
And I watched it. I was like, oh, this is fucking fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she cute. I was like, oh shit, and she beating ass. Like, this fire as fuck.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I fuck with the shit. So I ended up watching like the whole thing. And it was really cool. I ain't gonna lie, it kind of fucked me up because I never watched anime of like that kind of genre. So it put me hip to like more animes of that genre, like Nana, and
Yeah.
more. I forgot like the title, the type of anime that is like.
What, like the all woman cast?
Yeah, like shoujo.
Yeah.
Shoujo would be Well, isn't there another name? Yeah.
We talked about it before too.
It's
we were going through the list. There's shonen.
Goddamn. I know we know what you're talking about though.
Yeah.
It's
So I just be trying to get my like terminology correct when I say the shit, but like but yeah, that more so like that kind of style of anime. But after that, I started like watching other stuff and then getting involved in like Studio Ghibli films.
Right.
Yeah,
That shit
Cream of the
really
crop.
took.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit really took it.
What was your first Studio Ghibli film that you saw? Big Smokes on the sesh.
Yes, sir.
Big Smokes on the sesh.
You know, I'm trying to remember. I think I'm gonna have to say either Spirited Away or Howl's Moving Castle. I just don't remember which one I saw.
I think Spirited Away might have been the most emotionally hit I was by a film, by a motion picture as a child. I don't think there was ever a movie that affected me emotionally in the same way. Maybe I would say Castaway was like maybe the first film that I actually like cried from watching when I was a kid, but Spirited Away was the first movie I had like an existential meltdown.
Yeah.
Like very deeply sad and just experiential, and it took you so far into that story and into that world that it was almost traumatic to watch.
Absolutely.
You know? The way Studio Ghibli sets up their films is like a sense of romantic tragedy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it really pulls at the heartstrings, and it was something that I really enjoyed as far as like how they like portrayed their characters and like the emotional depth that they gave their characters with like all the shading, the tones that they use for coloring, all of that. That was like what I was learning when I was in art school. Like stuff like that really inspires me. So like I have a really big fond appreciation of animation for that kind of stuff.
Right.
To the point where I even started to draw and inspired me to like draw stuff. I could like see something and like draw it perfectly.
Right.
You know
No, that's dope.
Which is why I got into the school.
Right.
So it just made my appreciation for anime grow a lot more.
Studio Ghibli's the perfect example of that, because they really amongst pretty much any other studio, they really stand the testament of time. I mean, look at when their movies were released. Look at animation now, and it's like easily still holds up.
Still better, and still better in a lot of ways.
You know the wildest part?
Yeah.
You know my anime list.
Yeah.
They don't acknowledge it as a anime.
That's crazy.
Because it has a lot of too much Western influence.
Oh, what?
There's a lot of anime that has Western influence.
What? Yeah. They don't wait. They don't list Spirited Away as
any Studio
Ghibli movie. Nope. They're literally about Japanese culture. They're literally stories like Japanese fables.
Yes. But it was too much. It was just the creators for it had too much Western people on it, which is what caused the issue.
That's so.
We need to do something about this.
Yeah, we got to start writing letters.
I mean, I get it to a degree because like, and I don't mean to hold it. You know what I'm saying?
No. Do your thing, bro. That's your shit.
Yeah.
I do get it to a degree because it's like, anime is a cultural thing for them.
Of course.
It's worldly appreciated, but like it's a cultural thing for them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's also what I understood about like, you know, the argument of like the lack of black characters in anime.
Yeah, right.
Because they don't necessarily make it for black people. It's meant for Japanese people.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, so
yeah.
I get it, and I wouldn't say take it. I wouldn't say like hold it against them or anything like that.
Right.
But I definitely feel like they do need to acknowledge like the efforts towards the art form itself as opposed to the culture.
Right. And I think that's kind of the problem with a lot of with just anime in general when it comes to that aspect is that, you know, you'll have shows that are basically animes. Like the Boondocks is an anime. Literally. The Boondocks is an anime in every sense of the word, but it's not listed as an anime because it's a Western show. But it's still a part of the art form. Like this needless separation, I think, stifles. Like, imagine if we really thought of Boondocks as an anime. Imagine if Japanese people thought of Boondocks as an anime. Imagine what that could have inspired. What other animes could have came from the Boondocks.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
If you ever get the chances, look YouTube. Japanese dub Boondocks is the funniest shit you'll ever see.
Really?
Oh, I got it.
Japanese dub?
It's hilarious. It's the funniest shit.
I've never come across that in my life.
I wonder how they could even dub it into Japanese because there's so much American colloquialisms and slang.
It exists.
That's crazy. It must be so bad. It must be the translation must be terrible.
But it's probably so funny though. I can imagine how fucking funny that shit would be, bro. Just because the Boondocks is already funny in a language we understand.
Right.
Switching over to one that we don't and still understanding some form of the dialect through the subtitles would just be absolutely hilarious. Like, you ever put on an animated show and just put it in Spanish or put it in another language, it is absolutely
wild.
Yeah, it's wild. You wouldn't imagine how it would sound. You know, I mean, I understand why, but at the same time, it's very good to experience. I feel like
I got into German films while I was in college. Those were my favorite types of movies when I was studying. I didn't go to school for film; I went to school for English.
Okay.
But I got really into film at that time.
Nice.
So the movies that really grabbed me were like German foreign films. So one day I was like, you know what? Let me try to watch Neon Genesis Evangelion in German with like subtitles, just to like see what the experience is like. Bro, that was I think I lasted maybe 2 minutes.
I believe it.
And it was so just grating and awful that I had to turn it off. Like there are just certain languages that you should not be putting over like anime characters speaking. You know what I mean?
And you know what the other problem is when Neon Genesis came out. Also, don't forget they weren't as crafty and good as they were with voiceovers as they are now.
Yeah.
Then it was. Like, you have the Japanese shot of Neon Genesis, right? All they're doing is taking that same thing, clearing the audio, and just laying somebody speaking in German over it. And the problem was that although it's animated, the mouth speed is still moving at how they're speaking in the Japanese way.
Yeah.
So those things, like, you know, motherfuckers are still talking. The camera pans to, like, some other shot. They're still talking. Whereas you watch it in the actual, you know what I'm saying, the actual language, it's perfectly timed. So I definitely could see how. But even now, I mean, I'll be honest, bro. I'm a big sub fan. And when, like, things that I've watched sub now, even dubbed, I speak English. English is my first and only language. Okay?
I be hitting all the time, bro.
I can't like especially the new shows, like old shows, like I talked to you about this multiple times. Old shows that we grew up on, of course, I can deal with those. That's what I grew up on. This what got me into the show, or into the genre. But
it's a feel to it.
It does. It has, like Dragon Ball, Naruto, like those shows. To me, although I've watched them subbed, dubbed is no problem. You know what I mean? No problem at all.
Yeah.
But these new shows, they don't do it right, bro.
But here, like, there's certain animes though for me that the voice actor to me, like, or not the voice actor, but the character to me sounds like that American voice actor, like Yusuke Urameshi.
100%.
Yeah,
Yusuke
100%.
sounds like that to me. He
100%.
does not sound like some Japanese kid.
Yeah.
No,
That's Yusuke. You know, when you hear that particular voice.
I think even with the new Hunter x Hunter, I think that's a really good voice for Gon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I haven't watched that in dub ever.
You've never heard it in dub?
I won't watch it in dub.
You should definitely watch it in
No,
dub.
it hits. Like,
It's
it
good.
hits.
Here's
It's
why
very
though.
nice.
Here's the thing with me though. I don't think it would be bad, but I've watched it 3 times subbed already.
Oh,
so it's fully imprinted upon my brain.
It's raps.
You know what I mean?
I'm already knowing.
Yeah. So it's
raps.
like the same way you just said Urameshi is how he sounds to you.
Right.
That's how that
Gon
is.
Gon
would be Gon.
I will say it's pleasant. It's pleasant.
Okay, bet. Maybe I'll check it out then.
Yeah, it's cool.
I will say though, there are a few animes that like do have a great dub, and I would never watch it in sub.
Oh,
One Punch Man is one of those.
Oh, I have not seen that. What?
One Punch Man?
Oh,
I've not seen.
Oh my fuck!
So not to cut you off, you said you like Gintama, right?
Of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you would love One Punch. Oh,
exactly.
yeah,
Because Gintama is a spoof show.
Yeah.
That is what that is made to be. It's a parody show.
Yeah, it's a parody. Yeah.
Did I say Gintama when I just said that?
Yeah, you said Gintama.
One Punch Man is in that same sense, but
not to that degree though.
It's not to that degree of like
parodying other
a whole bunch
Right.
of jokes and shit like that. It's a parody or a spoof in its own way because it's like it's like every main character that's overpowered as a show.
Yeah,
that's
like,
basically what it is. And
okay.
in some instances it's to the extreme.
Yeah,
it does big time because
I
it does what we like a lot of people think already, but it hasn't been done in this sense.
Imagine a show where everyone thinks they're the main character and villain.
Oh, okay. So everybody has this self-importance.
But except for the
one nigga that should have all the self-importance.
Exactly.
Oh, that's cool. I got to check that out. I've heard that that's kind of what it's about, but haven't gotten a chance to watch it. But you're saying the dub is very good, so I should check it out. Dub.
Yeah,
all right, then I'm watching it.
A lot of notes to like nihilism and like existentialism.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Sense of self,
yeah.
Purpose.
I think for a lot of people who may not like Dom, who haven't actually like watched all of Gintama or like really like watched
any of Gintama,
I haven't finished it, but like I've watched it. For sure.
Yeah, so when you watch it, like people, if you see cutscenes or pieces of it, you might think it's this like dumb, like kind of.
No, I don't think that.
But it's actually so because
they don't make everything they do make sense in the context of the show.
Yeah, it's really
good. It's funny as fuck, actually.
And the other thing too is like they get the jokes about other animes, like when they are making fun of another anime perfectly.
Yeah,
like they do it so well where they're not being like, oh, we're making fun of Dragon Ball Z right now, but they'll do something that's so obviously Dragon Ball Z, and they'll show how fucking ridiculous it actually is. That it makes it so funny. You've got to watch.
Start breaking this shit down.
100%.
Yeah, man.
No, I'll check that out though.
And one last one, I would say you need to watch the dub of, and well, yeah, you need to watch the dub. It's called Ghost Stories.
Ghost Stories.
I've heard of Ghost Stories. I've never watched it though.
The story behind the show. The show was created in Japan originally, but it did so bad in numbers. It's so bad that when they got it to America for the translation, they was like, you know what, bro, just do what you want. You don't care anymore.
Yeah.
And so they took that actually and ran with it and made a parody of the anime.
Oh.
And it's the actual
show
translation,
and it's supposed to be a joke on the show.
Yes.
Wow, I gotta watch that.
Awesome. But it got actually way more popular than the original.
Holy shit!
Because
that sounds sick.
But keep in mind, it's not it's a little corny. Admittedly, but like it's still hilarious because you just would never hear this in the anime dub.
Right.
And it's like this is like official. It's like canon shit.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
I gotta check that out.
So essentially, it's two different stories subbed and dubbed.
Absolutely.
That is awesome.
That's sick.
It's like awesome. It's like an abridged series.
Yes.
That's so sick.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I'll check that out then. That sounds good.
So while we're on the note of like, I guess hidden animes or just off the beaten path animes, have you ever seen a show called Ergo Proxy?
I've heard of it. I haven't watched it.
It's on Hulu. Everybody who's listening to this right now, if you're an anime fan, I know that you got to watch that next episode of One Piece because it's definitely going to be different than the last episode. But before you do that, go and watch Ergo Proxy. Ergo Proxy is a 23-episode unfinished anime that was so popular that it's still being watched and like streamed, and the licensing is always being fought over to this day. And it was this super slick sci-fi, like right around the time The Matrix was cool, so it was it's like that style of futurism where it's like black coats, techno, very much like that. Super unique animation style, and has one of the most, I would say, mysterious main characters of any anime that I think I've ever seen, where this character deserves 5 seasons of development. Like, they just had so much depth.
So maybe that's why it's not finished.
Well, it wasn't
How
finished.
long ago?
This was early 2000s.
Oh, yeah,
it's never come. It's never coming back. I think it might have been late 90s, early 2000s.
Sucks.
But bro, I'm telling you, the just the experience of watching it, it's not going to end. And I know for some people, that's going to turn them off. They're going to be like, well, why would I watch an anime that doesn't have an ending?
Right.
It's just for if you're an anime fan, it's such a great testament to what a good anime looks like. I'm sure, I don't know exactly what the story was, but something happened with the production of it. It got switched by too many studios, or there weren't enough people. Back then, if ratings weren't good on TV, they'd pull your show. They don't give a fuck. They don't care how cool it started. They'll fucking turn that shit right off. So that's what they did with.
Made it way different too. I mean, but that also sucks though, because although I understand like that was part of like the need for quality then, right? Because that's how it was then with anything media. You know what I mean? It was the need for quality. Now it's just a lot of other stuff's just out there now, right? It's actually crazy to think like what could have actually succeeded and finished had it came out in a different era, because of how. Ergo Proxy could have been great.
I think
whatever
today,
they had planned could have been amazing. Not even just today, even then.
Yeah.
But it was the opinion and the judgment then that in a lot of cases has ruined possible classics.
Oh yeah.
It sucks.
Oh yeah. It's with television, that was an imperfect way of sorting through quality because you're just getting somebody coming home at 11 o'clock at night, sitting down as like entertainment. You don't have people that are going and searching for stuff like they do now. I do
think it came out at a odd time too. There was a lot of obscure anime coming out at that time.
Yes.
Like Paranoia Agent and shit.
Yes. Not
a lot of people know about that one.
Yes.
But it's more like it really it was a good ass anime, but again, at the time, like you said, it came on like with Adult Swim and like other shit like that. It made it hard for people to like catch on to it.
Now, Paranoia Agent was the one with the kid with the baseball bat, right? Let me tell you, bro. All right, 2 things happened simultaneously that like changed the molecular structure of my brain. One was Breaking the Habit music video for Linkin Park coming out, and that style of animation, and then seeing the trailer for Paranoia Agent on Adult Swim with that same type of animation because it was such a brutal, dark, like very and it's also the same animator who did both of those also did that that anime sequence in Kill Bill, by the way. It's the same guy.
Oh, nice.
So most people, if you're not a big anime fan, you probably watched Kill Bill. This is the type of animation I'm talking about. It was such a brutalist, like very anatomically correct way of animating, and it was very haunting.
Yeah,
you know, and I think that type of animation, I wish I would say Attack on Titan has a similar feel to it. It's not as
you
know what I mean,
like as shonen as you would think, obviously because of how it is, but it does what a lot of these other types of shows you're talking about do, but in their way.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of shows that I know exactly what kind of feel you're talking about. Like, you ever seen Future Diary?
No,
yeah, actually,
no.
Future Diary is like that.
Wild.
You ever seen Another?
No,
I haven't seen that one actually.
So Another
Another's the horror one,
yes.
right? Yeah, I've seen Another. Yeah,
now look, I've seen a few other things that are the horror genre, but like they weren't really that good. But there's a few anime that like that's one.
Mm-hmm. Serial Experiments Lane.
I've never seen that.
Serial Experiments Lane.
Elfen Lied.
Elfen Lied.
Elfen Lied.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Those animes had a haunting quality to them.
Big time.
Yeah, I really think.
And that was an early thing as well, not to cut you off.
Sorry. No, yeah.
But that was like way more of an early thing with how often those were coming out, because now you only see so many. I mean, there's shows that have like hints and notes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hints and notes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Not the whole show is like that.
Right.
I wonder if just because it didn't work then, do they not care to do it now or what?
I think that's a big part of it, and I also think that those animators are probably not still working.
Yeah, but
and
even that, like people know about it though. That's my thing. Like, there's nobody new coming out with like that style of inspiration, because anything that could fit that way, they don't get as dark and they don't have that same aesthetic.
I haven't really. But again, I think it also too when it comes to horror anime, bro. I think it's the concept of animation itself kind of takes away the horror. Like, you ever like read like horror manga? Like,
no.
It hits different as fuck. No. Like, I'm not gonna cap.
Really?
Even like Parasite. Like, you ever like
Parasite's real dope.
It's real as fuck, but like the manga of it hits different because of the lack of color. They can add on more with like sketch and give more detail in that sense to give it more of a gory effect.
Right. Yeah, the color almost gets in the way.
Yeah, damn near.
Well, the color is what pushes it.
Right.
It's the amount of blood that they can show.
And that's a double-edged sword when it comes to animation, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, at least for horror, you know what I'm saying? It's great for like that action and giving that like that powerful like burst in aura, but when it comes to like horror and giving that dark, depth, color doesn't do shit.
Yeah,
you know
right.
So it makes it hard for it to like really give off that like horrific feel.
Mm-hmm.
You know if you take away all the colors, like watching like note sketches and shit now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like unless they find a way to like put that in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you ever heard of like Cashin Sins. No.
I don't think so.
I didn't really care for the anime personally, but I did like the artwork style.
Okay.
It was like a really lighthearted artwork, but it got like really dark and serious with like the sketches.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if someone like kind of took that concept and put it in like a darker sense, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it could work out, but like again, like that color kind of takes away the horror and the scariness away from it. You can do stuff to make stuff. I would say you can make concepts to make it like scary and eerie. Like, a lot of people say Attack on Titan is scary. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's scary for everybody, but a lot of people say it's like creepy because of the concept.
for sure.
Yeah, in some ways, I can see that
it's
for
a sick
sure.
Concept,
right.
And it's written in a way that's not like, it is obviously over the top because nothing like that exists, but like the fact that they're drawn and sketched as people that are just like that.
Yeah.
It's the visual that you get. You know what I'm saying? Like these big ass humans are running around.
Right.
And also
destroying towns. Like,
and I think they do a really good job of showing that those things, while they may have human form, are in no way
human, of course.
And they do such a good job, both of the animation but the movement as well, right?
For sure.
Like they don't use their limbs in the way that like a human would, and I think there's a particularly creepy, like uncanny valley part of that really lends to the show. And it does, I would say it's not scary as in like a boo jump out scary, but the dread of like,
for sure.
Especially when the first 2 seasons of Attack on Titan, they perfectly envelop you in what it would probably feel like if you
100%.
thought that the way that it's most likely that you're going to die is that some gigantic thing is going to pick you up and eat you.
A gigantic human. Is
a humanoid thing,
crazy.
and it's going to chew on you like how you would eat chicken. And you feel your gums chew or your teeth going down. That's how you're going to die.
Yeah.
That's such
you in despair, bro.
That's such a dark, fucked up thing.
Yeah.
And I think Attack on Titan shows the kinds of personalities that would develop, right? In an environment like that. You have this extremely nihilistic community of these what were they called? The people with the swords?
The Scout Regiment?
The Scout Regiment. Like the ease with which they have become accustomed to somebody next to them's probably gonna die. The next time they get into a skirmish, that guy you were talking to, he's not going to be there anymore.
When they leave the walls, a lot less people are going to be here when we get back.
But it was just done so well because, you also understand at the same time as how terrifying that would be. Yeah. It's got to be done.
It's got to be done.
That's why it's just such a good story.
Man.
It's so good.
We could go on and on about Attack on Titan, but I want to kind of stay on this track of like animation, just talking about it in that way for a second. So, the Studio Mappa right now is kind of the big, big guy on the block. They did the final movie for Evangelion in the Rebuild series. I don't know if you saw that.
I genuinely, I hear a lot about Evangelion, but I genuinely hate mecha. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's.
You told us that.
Yeah, but here's the thing, man. Evangelion is not a mecha show. It's not a mecha show. It's not about a giant robot.
It's not about the sad boy just getting into the ship.
It's not about that. I think a lot of people.
A good point of it is about it, but he's right. It's not only. It's about not.
It's not about it. But here's the thing: like in the original show, right? You do get presented with a certain kind of show that you think it's going to be, and they carry that facade on for, admittedly, a little bit too long. Like, I think they should have kept it, like, looking like a mecha anime for, like, maybe 3 episodes and then reveal what it's really about. Instead, they do it for, like, 7 episodes. Yeah. So, after a certain point, you're like, okay, I'm starting to get the idea that this isn't about this, but, like, you're still spending a ton of time on some shit that actually probably doesn't matter. So that will be the only complaint out, and that I would agree with Kris about Evangelion. But man, if you get past it about they got to get in the thing and it's a giant robot that moves all weird, if you get past that, it's animation wise too. I was going to talk about this a little bit later, but animation wise, I think Evangelion is the greatest anime of that period. In the golden age of anime, I think Evangelion crushes anybody.
Wait,
animation
early 2000s?
No, Evangelion came out in 1995. Oh, but
a 90s anime. Oh, hold on.
Hold on.
So much better. What are you gonna name? Please say Cowboy Bebop.
Wait, you're just saying in that year or the whole golden ages?
No, the whole golden age. Evangelion is the most iconic.
I was gonna say Cowboy Bebop.
Nah, dude.
I can't say Trigun.
No, not Trigun.
So we're saying 95 to 2000.
Fuck.
I mean,
okay. Find me a show that has more iconic color schemes. Like, you can get just the color purple, green, and orange, and put it on a thing, and people know that's either one.
Yeah, but not like Yu. Like, wait, when are Yu Hakusho?
Okay, I would say Yu Hakusho is a close contender, but that's just because Yu Hakusho has 5 seasons.
So we have to compare to something that's fair to compare.
Yeah, a 1-season thing. That's why I said, like, a lot of people would say Cowboy Bebop, but I would say Evangelion blows it out of the water completely. Blows it out of the water.
I don't know, bro. I don't know what blows it out the water.
Look at the backgrounds in Cowboy Bebop when they're on different planets. Them shits are whack. They're close, like their actual interiors are cool. The ships are cool, but the backgrounds are whack.
How is the soundtrack for Evangelion?
The soundtrack is like the opening song has more karaoke requests of any other anime song. The opening Evangelion song, I don't
know if this is factual.
That's 100% true. And Cruel Angel's Thesis. The name of the song is called Cruel Angel's Thesis. #1 requested anime karaoke song ever. And the ending theme, if you watch the original Evangelion, not
Cap? Is this Cap?
This is not Cap.
Is this Cap?
This is not Cap.
Like Cap.
I know
this
him,
is not.
And there's certain times. Listen, most of the time I know when he's Cap or not, but I've also had the thought right now that he's trolling.
I'm not fucking trolling. Evangelion,
fucking crazy.
Cruel Angel's Thesis, #1. Like, it's #1. And then if you watch the original Evangelion, like if you get the DVD, not the one on Netflix, the original one, they had the licensing for "Fly Me to the Moon" by fucking Frank Sinatra as the ending fucking music to the motherfucking show,
DVD,
bro.
how does
That's
DVD,
the greatest fucking
cost?
anime of all time, bro.
What anime would you say has the best like
music? The ending theme to Samurai Champloo, not the beginning, the ending theme. That
Shiki no Uta.
Shiki no Uta, I think is one of the greatest songs ever recorded by any human ever, and it happened to be in that anime.
Shout out to the Japanese.
So yeah, that one absolutely it takes the cake. And then also there's another show called Lost Universe. If you do you know?
I've not heard of that.
Ooh, yo, Lost Universe, yo. Somebody who can get to this part of the episode, please comment if you've seen Lost Universe. It's not a good anime.
Lost Universe.
It's not a good anime.
Wait, what?
No, it's not a good anime. It has the best, one of the best ending theme songs of like that period. Like those like 90s ending, like kind of like city pop, kind of anime ending themes of all time. Lost Universe, and then I would say number 3. Definitely Yu Yu Hakusho's all 5 of the ending theme songs.
Yeah.
All 5. You can listen to each one of those back to back. That's an EP right there.
Bangers.
Straight up. Yeah, man.
I would also. I'm gonna give a note to JoJo's.
Oh yeah, JoJo. Yeah.
Mainly because they use like pop culture music.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. No, you're 100% right. JoJo's is definitely up there.
Oh, I like Hunter x Hunter has a real cool soundtrack, bro. I'm wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
I'm wrong?
It's not like it's not. It's good, but it's not like iconic.
It's not iconic,
dude. It's good,
oh, we're naming. Oh, my fault. My fault. I thought we were just naming good soundtrack.
Fucking with you.
That's why I'm like, hold on. We're naming iconic shit. I take that back.
I got one more. The Great Pretender.
I haven't heard that one.
Really? I think it's on Netflix still.
Okay, I've seen it on Netflix, but I haven't clicked on it. Yeah.
Fucking crazy, actually.
Okay.
Bro, imagine you just gotta scam your way.
Yeah.
You just gotta keep scamming. I swear, even if you don't want to scam, you gotta scam.
Yeah, there's no choice.
You just gotta keep scamming. I swear to God. It's fucking amazing. The soundtrack go crazy.
True. I gotta check that out.
Yeah.
On Netflix, you said.
Yeah, The Great Pretender.
Great Pretender. I've seen it on that. I gotta click on that. So then, I guess getting back to the animation thing, like kind of finishing my point about Studio Mappa, because we got onto a lot of different tangents there.
We definitely did.
I'm sorry.
So no, it's all good. That was me. The thing that I like about Studio Mappa is that they really have nailed motion. Like when you see motion, especially in Chainsaw Man, right, or even the new Evangelion, it's unlike anything. What? Why are you guys?
You and this fucking Evangelion shit.
That's another one that Studio Mappa.
I know. I understand you. Like I know you're just saying that for your personal, like the show, but
it was just how
like
you
the
said
way
it.
You just throw shit in there sometimes. I'm like, I sometimes get the thought. I'm like, bro, is he trolling again?
I'm not
it's not that I think you're lying. Anyway, I'm just like,
you might
is he
just
fucking around?
Like
that's why I have to look at
be a
shit.
natural troll. You might just be a natural
He is,
troll.
bro. He's absolutely a natural troll. In the most subtle way you would ever.
It's the tone of how you say this shit.
I guess so. I
not in a bad way.
I feel you. I feel you. I appreciate it. But no, like those new animes that they've been producing. To me, I think this is the best place that motion has ever been in animation. Would you agree, or do you think that other people have done it better?
I think certain studios do it well, like very, very certain studios. I think animation is in a difficult time currently.
Okay, why you say that?
COVID fucked a lot of shit up. In my personal opinion, I feel like it fucked a lot of shit up.
There's a lot of good shit, a lot of bad shit.
Yeah, the bad shit is a lot of studios don't work like in the same building like that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
True.
So they all work separately, so it's not as like. It takes away the cohesiveness and like the kind of like the collective consciousness essentially on the project away because they're all working separately. If they're in the same room, they can be like, bounce off that energy in the room and really get it together. That and then that it slowed them down to a degree. So like episodes don't come out as often as they used to. Shit used to be weekly. Yeah. Now shit's like some shows are weekly, but like only the good ones are weekly. But like other shows are like bi-weekly or like monthly.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like a lot of CGI animation came into place because it's a bit cheaper than having motherfuckers draw every frame by frame and shit.
Right.
But at the same time, that comes with a cost of like degraded animation quality where it looks like video games damn near. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's cool if you like just go off of that style. In my opinion, if you just like full on go with that, like there's a few anime that like do that well. In my opinion, like Ruby does that really well.
Okay,
the animation styles. It starts off like very very video game like, but like I fucks with it because it felt like a video game walkthrough, but like its own thing. But it's cool because as the storyline gets further in the seasons, the animation gets better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then another one, I think it was called Ajin or something like that.
Yeah, Ajin. Yeah, it was on Netflix. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
She was fucking fire.
Yeah.
But like the animation was like in the CGI form.
Right, the CGI.
You know what I'm saying?
I can't really get into the CGI thing. I'm not going to say that it won't turn into something in a few more years, but right now
it takes a certain blend that
Yeah.
it takes a certain blend and there's an art to it that people haven't really perfected yet. I think the only people that have really done it like the best, in my opinion, is the Dragon Ball Z Broly movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's like one of the best blends of like the CGI and like animation
and regular animation. I got to check that out. Yeah,
it's a good movie.
I've only seen the original Broly movie, which
I love
the original Broly movie it was a very like moody, dark.
Oh, yeah.
It was not like the rest. It was not like the rest of Dragon Ball Z at all. Yeah.
No, that's the one change they made with Broly that I was like, why would you guys like? I get.
We gotta blow this nigga up.
Sense. Yeah, like literally, like we gotta just decimate this nigga right now. If we don't kill him, you've seen that, bro. Listen, in the original Broly movie, he literally fucks everybody up. He literally had Vegeta not even step in the fight. Man fell on his knees and damn near started crying
the fuck out of
because
everybody.
they could not do shit. All of the Z fighters were there.
Yeah.
And that's this new one is, it's just Goku and Vegeta fighting, which is still real dope.
They made
I'm
him
not taking nothing away from him, but he's a lot more like played down. He's not the menace that he was. He might be able to become that, but he's not evil.
Bro, in the original one, you believed that Broly was stronger than all of them. You believe
he was
not even believe, like it was a fact.
There was no way around
it. But no, like what I mean is like you believed that like they were actually gonna get fucked over.
Oh yeah, they were.
Yeah,
they got lucky, bro.
Yeah, that shit is
like you had to blow that nigga up.
Yeah, literally. You had to kill him in space. You can't kill him on the planet.
Do you guys remember the Cooler movie?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yo, there's nothing.
Was amazing.
Yo, there's nothing better than the Cooler movie.
Oh, yeah.
The Cooler movie,
he's fucking that nigga up. I ain't gonna lie.
Yo, Cooler. Also, I thought there was such a cool ass shot in the beginning of the movie where they go to their fucking planet where Frieza and him are from, and it's just a destroyed fucking like hellscape, and he's just sitting on like a fucked up throne, and he just like destroys the throne with his tail and just like jumps off in a hyperspeed.
Yeah.
Bro, there was nothing more fucked up than that when you were a kid. You're like, that's where they're from. Like, that's what they're like. That's what's in their heart. You know.
Well, you should also see my personal favorite Dragon Ball movie is Fusion Reborn. It's when they first go Gogeta and fight Janemba.
I don't remember that one.
If you should check it out because
Janemba is the red and purple dude.
Yeah. Amongst the like majority of the Dragon Ball movies, not counting any of the new ones, it's probably got the best animation.
Really?
The fight scenes are done so well in that. Just the background while everything's happening, it's just so vibrant, so colorful in the best ways. It's not like too overlapping. It's not anything that doesn't play into the next color. It just looks real good. Watch it, I'm telling you. It's the first time they actually ever went Gogeta.
Okay, I gotta check that out. Yeah,
it's good. It's on. They got it on Crunchyroll.
So, for you, Kris, I mean, where kind of fast forwarding now into kind of current day, like where have these influences kind of brought you? Artistically, what are the things you're into now? What do you currently work on and such like that?
It influences my music to a certain degree. I feel like people who know me in real life are kind of thrown off that I don't like make music about anime.
Yeah.
But like I do to a degree. Like the show Initial D really inspires me a lot to this day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially with like just the music and the concept of cars, since like my whole thing with music is like about cars.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it really inspires that. And then even Speed Racer. I fucking love Speed Racer.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how it influences me today. As far as like anime I'm like interested in today. It's mainly I don't watch anime too much today because I haven't really found like a lot of anime that like that catches my interest. A lot of anime would be like repetitions of the same thing.
Yes,
they'd be funny as fucking entertaining. Admittedly, they will be funny and entertaining, but like I don't feel like I gain anything after it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So I don't watch too many anime, but the ones I've been watching lately is JJK, of course.
Of course, yeah.
One Piece. I keep up with the manga as opposed to the anime. Anime is like a little too dragged out sometimes. But I get it because they're not trying to catch up to the manga, so I get it. The pacing be a little weird.
Yeah.
But I do really fuck with it. Fuck with that. One Punch Man, of course. There was another anime that I recently, Dr. Stone. Actually
I think you told me about Dr. Stone. Yeah.
Fire,
I haven't watched the new season, but it is.
I'm on season 2 currently. It's pretty
nice.
Pretty fucking wild. He's doing some wild shit.
Yes. I don't want to spoil nothing for him if he's gonna watch it, but no. What's the main character's name? Seku.
Yeah.
Boss, bro. Like do you know what it's about?
No.
Premise of the story is like, I'll make it short. Like, there's petrification takes over the world.
Okay.
And everybody turns into stone.
Okay.
For like so many years, and it literally like if like de-advances them completely because everything's gone. They're on just like a it's like prehistoric times. It's like all electronics, all technology is gone. All of it. And this one nigga who just so happens to be like the smartest nigga ever,
Jimmy Neutron.
Literally. I think he's like the second or third one to wake up, and then he the whole time though it's the only other thing. No, I'm not saying that. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Just leave it there. Yeah, no, that sounds cool.
Was he? I thought so. That one dude was.
Did you guys ever watch that anime? Speaking of, sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, you're good. You're good.
To Your Eternity. Have you seen that?
All right, so
I've never watched it.
A friend of mine put me hip to that. I never got to like get into it, but like the concept of it was kind of fucking crazy.
Yeah,
I fucking loved it. I really got to get into it.
It was cool, man. And the first like 3 episodes are some of the best. Like,
yeah, that's exactly what I watched. It was like, oh, this shit's fucking crazy.
It was cool, man. I should have kept up with it, but for whatever reason,
I might go back into that. I need to get anime to watch.
So before we run too far out of time, I wanted to just kind of talk a little bit about music with you, man, because that's kind of what your main thing is right now, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah. So I guess just let me know, kind of from the top, like when did you get into music? What kind of music do you make? Just I've seen your Instagram and stuff, but just for the show,
for the people, my name is Kris Lamar. Hey, I got into music when I was like in middle school. I wouldn't say like. It was like a blend of like being inspired and just like trying to do something. Yeah. I was trying to like impress this girl in middle school, so I tried to rap. And then I was like, oh, maybe if I'm good at this, I might get to go. And then I started taking it more serious, and then I got a hold of one of my Pop's cassette tapes. He had this Nas track on there called If I Ruled the World.
I Ruled the World, yeah.
And on the other side was when he was in the Firm, it's called Affirmative Action.
Yeah.
And I heard the shit, I was like, oh, this shit's fucking fire.
Yeah.
So it really inspired me to like take it seriously and try to like make people feel something how I felt like in those songs when I heard
Yeah.
So from there I just started exploring music more, and really just like trying different styles. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily like a hip hop artist. I think I'm like alternative hip hop more so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Like I hop around with different genres, like from house music to like R&B or whatever. But like the consistent part of it is the cars. I find ways to like relate cars and just being on the road to like everyday life.
Yeah.
Like I really see life just like honestly just like a clear road, like where you just got a lot of shit ahead of you and you don't really know what's ahead. Honestly, you don't know what's ahead. It's a lot of uncertainty, and the only time you really get to see a clear view is when you're looking in that rear view and get to think back on shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, I try to take that mindset and like share that with people. You know what I'm saying? So I learned a lot from my losses. You know what I'm saying? So I take that mindset, really implement it in my music.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
No, that's awesome.
So, we have Detroit in our name. It's Two Detroit Nerds. That's the name of the show. But I'm not actually originally from here. Dom is, but
I was talking about that earlier. I heard that.
Yeah, I was born in Miami, but I grew up most of my life in Maryland, right outside of DC. But I went to college in New Orleans and lived there for a couple of years after. And then after that, I was in California for a couple of years, like San Diego and then LA. But COVID was really what brought me back to Michigan. My parents happened to live like outside of Detroit. They had moved from Maryland to there. So I came back during COVID over to that town. And you know, I was kind of trying to rediscover Detroit and re-understand it. You know, because I'd been here a few times when I was younger. I kind of understood a little bit about it, but you know, I never really had an on-the-ground experience talking to people who were from here, because this would just be a place I'd come to visit my parents. You know, it wouldn't be really a place I'd come to hang out. So I guess my question to you is, like, how did Detroit influence you growing up in terms of your musical tastes, your style, all of that?
I mean, again, it all goes into it. You know, I grew up in the car scene a lot. You know, growing up, my pops used to take me to the. Well, if you don't know, I'm sorry, you're not from here, so let me give you a little history.
Yeah.
Detroit is really big for like the car scene.
Yeah.
Detroit is
Motor City,
Motor City, where cars came from.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, there's a lot of there's a big underground car scene. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of street races that was happening, especially back in the day. It's like toned down a little bit, but like back in the day, it was pretty wild.
Yeah.
When I was younger, my pops used to take me to like races and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I got really into that from like those experiences, and just really seeing what cars could do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like shit I've actually like just see on TV and like cartoons, like real life shit. It was like, oh damn, it's crazy.
Yeah.
That, and then like my dad was like a big car person. Like he taught me how to drive at a young age. He was real big on like, you know, just knowing how to drive, because, you know, we from the Motor City.
Yeah.
Bro taught me. He taught me how to like drive when I was like 8 years old. I even bought my own car when I was 14.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
One thing about Detroit is we gonna hustle.
Yeah.
So he taught me how to hustle, and I was selling water as a kid, man. I was making like $100 a day.
What?
$100, $200 a day, like
what?
Selling water. Bought my car when I was 14.
Wow. Holy shit.
Yeah, couldn't even legally drive it, but I had that motherfucker.
Right.
So I was modding it out for years until I got it up.
Damn,
like,
what car was it?
It was a Chevy Impala.
Ooh,
2000 Chevy Impala.
2000 Chevy Impala.
Yeah. Had blue headlights, blue lights on the inside.
Yeah.
Leather seats,
Yeah.
sunroof. It was nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's sick.
Fucking fire.
That's dope, man.
Just all of that though, just being influences from Detroit kind of just put me in that mindset of just really having a lot of drive and just having a lot of hustle. Loving cars, for real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. And that's such an authentic thing, you know, like of course, you know, Motor City, Detroit being so connected to the car industry, GM being here. I always knew that was a part of Detroit, but like coming here and seeing that it's really embedded in people's lives, like the ownership of a vehicle, having a car.
Having a car is vital.
Vital. And the city's designed like that. You don't have a car, guess what? You're not getting around.
It's gonna be hard.
There's no
Good
fucking
luck catching the bus.
Yeah, what? Who?
It's hard.
Yeah, you have to have a car. So yeah, I think that's such an authentic part of the city. But yeah, man, thanks. I think we're at our hour, so yeah. No, we're not. Okay, great. Let's keep it.
13 minutes.
Liddy.
Sick.
Yeah.
So yeah, then what I was gonna say was, I think, you know, coming here has really made me appreciate American industry in a way that, you know, people on the East Coast, you know, where I grew up, you know, everything was either politics, finance, government. There was nothing tangible. No one worked in a place that
next to the Capitol, bro.
Yeah, but no one like you. I didn't. You know, most people that I know now, they're either the top three, I would say, jobs for people that I grew up with are either some of them are in the FBI, some of them are real estate agents, and some of them, you know, are some sort of corporate something. You know, not a single person did a trade. Not a single person, you know, did something that was a physical, you know what I mean?
Damn,
and in Detroit,
trades are big here.
You know, and I think maybe I've said this on the podcast before, but one of the things that I really appreciate about this city is like people here really know how the things that they own work.
Yeah.
That is such a different type of mentality than the sort of purchasing class that I grew up with. You know, the people that I grew up with is like, yeah, we'll get a guy to fix the car and we'll get a guy to fix the house and the boiler pop, we'll get a guy to fix that. No one knows how anything works. But here, something breaks, you got 5 people in your neighborhood who come over.
Can you come fix this for me?
Yeah.
I'll offer up. I know a guy. You know what I'm saying? Just,
Right.
I know a guy who do this. You know what I'm saying?
And I think
Guarantee you, it's somebody in every Detroit neighborhood. There's somebody on your block who could fix anything you need. I promise you. It's within a block or two who could fix it whatever you need. I promise you. Some old dude who could just fix the shit.
Yeah.
For no fucking reason.
I totally believe that, and it's such a world of pride that you can get from knowing how the things you own work and being a part of how they were constructed. You know,
Yeah.
what better, you know, pride is it to have like a vehicle from the plant that you work at, you know?
Yeah,
and
for sure.
and I think that's such an authentic Detroit thing. But I guess for you, you know, I guess looking into the future, like, what are the things you would hope to see happen in Detroit, or what are the things you'd like to be a part of?
Oh man, as far as like what I want for Detroit, there's a lot, honestly. For starters, there's a lot of gentrification happening in the city. As far as like downtown and midtown specifically.
Yeah.
I get it, you know, from like a I guess like a profitable economic standpoint, you know what I'm saying? But in the realistic terms, there's a lot of money that could be like invested into like communities throughout the city, which is why people have like a bad they have like a bad it has a bad name essentially, you know what I'm saying? Like to people when they hear about it, they be like, "You're from Detroit?" I just hear like abandoned buildings and all this extra shit there. But like it's because the city doesn't give money and attention to these areas like they should, as opposed to like the downtown areas.
Right.
So that's one thing I would definitely like to see. And then another thing I would like to see is just more like community centers for like creatives. You know what I'm saying? Like Detroit has like a really big creative scene.
Huge, yeah.
But like Detroit itself doesn't know that.
Yeah.
Like the people who run Detroit don't necessarily know that. They're starting to understand that, but they don't really understand like the full scope of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like if there was a lot more money put into like programs for creatives, you know what I'm saying? Like after school programs for creatives.
Yeah.
Not only would I feel like that would help them understand like what their creative talents are and help them like understand and like master them. I feel like it would like give kids like an outlet to like help stay out of like, you know, the streets and whatnot.
Right.
If they can have some time where they can like just create and like do shit that they actually want to do, you know what I'm saying, and like focus on things that like make them feel good and like things that they want to accomplish. Having like community centers for that, I feel like that would be a lot more beneficial for the city and the youth, because that's what we got to like aim for real.
100%, man, 100%.
You know?
And the other thing too is like this is such a hotbed of talent. You know, one of the things I said to Dom like when we first started, you know, becoming friends was that one of the things that is unique about this town that other places I've lived do not have is that there is a real serious bar for like you got to be very good in Detroit to be recognized as being good at anything. Whereas in some cities you can kind of get by, you know, a couple of, like I was talking to Dom, like I used to, you know, I can't come from a writing background. And one of the best ways that I can practice writing is by writing jokes and going on stage and telling them, because that's how you get immediate feedback, right? I don't want to be a comedian, but I did about a year ago go on stage just to continue my writing process, and you know, and just to like keep it up is I would write jokes and go on stage and see if the jokes were good, because that would kind of give me honest feedback. Is this writing good? Basically,
how clever am I?
Right, exactly. And when I would do that, you know, I did it one time in Plymouth, Michigan, which is outside of Detroit, white town. Everybody, hey, you're so funny. Oh my God, that was great. Came to Detroit Shipping Company and did it. And I was surprised they didn't escort me out of there. I'm surprised they didn't say, hey, you actually can't breathe the same air as us. You need to leave. It was bad. But that experience taught me that this is not a place. I mean, the amateurs here are not amateurs. The people here who you may have not seen their name in lights are still probably far more equipped, you know, to do creative work than most people in other major cities.
I feel like Detroit is very has a high Detroit. We have a high value in craft.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yes,
if you're really indulged in your craft and the level of your craft as well.
Yeah,
then you get acknowledged for what you do.
100%. Yeah,
like. And not to say like what your jokes were like crafted like poorly or anything like that.
No, they were bad.
Oh, okay.
No, they were bad jokes. Yeah,
don't do that.
He didn't even invite me the day he went to do that, and I knew him at the time.
Yeah, that's how bad they were.
Yeah, I found out like way after. I was like, bro, why didn't you tell me I would have came? He's like, nah, man, it's probably better that you didn't.
For you.
Yeah,
you know, I did something.
Yeah,
we got the crowd started, but no.
Yeah, no, we definitely like value craft, which is why like you have to be like so good to even get acknowledged. You know, especially in this rap game here. Like you have to be like a fucking one rapper to get any acknowledgement in the city. I'm not gonna hold you up. You have to have bars. Like fuck the bullshit bars, nigga. Like it it got to the point where like I have bars, but it's like I didn't really care for like the level of competition personally. I'm not like a competitor. I'm a driven person, but I'm not a competitive person. I work smarter, not harder personally.
I hear you. Yeah.
So like I personally have like changed lanes to like doing music outside of hip hop. You know what I'm saying, and to working in different genres as far as that.
That's cool, man. And Detroit, you know, has the claim of techno. This is where that happens.
Oh yeah, no, Detroit techno. That's one of the things I grew up on. My pops loves techno.
Hell yeah.
You know
so I guess quickly, like, because we're running out of time, but techno wise, I mean, what were the places you would go to hear it? What were the best artists that you heard? You know, that kind of stuff.
So, admittedly, techno is a really interesting thing in the city because it really originates like in the city, like within the people. Like, you could find a techno artist that could be 2 houses down from you and making like wild ass techno music, just giving it away CDs on the block.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And everybody listens to that one dude now. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was like young when this was like going on, so like I would just hear shit that my pops had.
Yeah,
and I didn't really understand it at first. Admittedly, I thought the shit was ass. Admittedly, I thought it was ass at first.
Yeah.
But like growing up and starting to hear different forms of that kind of music, it gave me appreciation for like Detroit techno and understanding like how to implement it in like music today. You know what I'm saying? And implement like house music and all of this into music today.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Or even like jit music. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one thing Detroit is like known for too.
What's that? What's jit music?
Jitting is like a dance that we do.
Oh, okay.
It's where you move your feet real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, true.
Bust move,
you've probably seen some videos online of like people doing that shit.
It's crazy ass footwork, bro.
That's crazy. Yeah. No, I haven't seen that. It was in Baltimore or DC. They had Rocking Off. That sounds similar to Rocking Off, where you got
they do like club music.
What kind?
Like that Jersey club music kind of shit out there.
Oh.
Yeah, they got club music in DC, and then not in DC, in Baltimore, and then they have go-go music in DC.
Go-go, there we go.
Yeah, they got go-go in DC.
Like
I'm not a big fan of go. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of go-go.
That's fair.
Yeah. Do you like go-go?
I'm okay for it.
Yeah.
I like my favorite form of like that higher paced BPM music is like garage and like house music personally, like house. You know what I'm saying?
True. So where do you go? Like, what are your favorite venues in Detroit for hearing that kind of music?
I know the DJs who do that shit, so like I just go wherever
they're
like,
at. Yeah.
The thing about venues, like that's one thing where I mean like about creative centers too. Like there's not a lot of venues for creatives. They're the ones that are available. They like charge out the fucking ass, so it'd be hard to find like good ass venues. So it'll vary every time.
Right. So who are like top DJs in Detroit right now that you fuck with?
My favorite ones, Full Body, of course. That's the homie. AK is fire. Fucking 47 Chops is fire. Planet Kai is fire. It's a lot of fucking Ember is fire. It's just
there's a lot of them.
DJ Afy is fire. It's just like so fucking many DJs, bro. Like I swear to God, bro. So it's and each every one of them has like a really unique style. You know what I'm saying, that I really fuck with.
That's sick.
And even if it's like the same genre, it's like the style really shows their personality, and I really fuck with that. You know
Right.
So, yeah, those are my favorite DJs.
That's dope, man.
So that was a good list. I mean, that was a lot.
Yeah.
That's what, I try to keep up with them.
No, hell yeah.
That's sick.
It shows you what's out there.
Yes, sir. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Well, thanks again for coming on, man. I really appreciate, you taking the time. We're trying to get guests on here. We're trying to, make this into a real channel here. And, you're really our first guest of somebody we didn't know before the show.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Yeah, so I really do, appreciate you coming on and giving us a chance. I hope you had a fun time.
I'm having fun. I actually know some people who would love this. I actually know some other music artists who would love this.
Yeah, man. Nice. Spread the word. Two Detroit nerds. You heard it here.
Yes, sir.
If you guys are looking for, a place to hang out with some cool guys and talk about some fun shit, this is kind of the place to do it.
Yeah.
I think my homie Axel would love this place.
Okay. True. Yeah. We'll talk.
Anime dude. He's the anime rapper.
Okay.
Oh, true. Okay.
Yeah.
True.
He'll tell you some shit.
Yeah.
Sick.
That's awesome.
All right. That's the show. Two Detroit nerds.
See y'all, two Detroit
nerds.
Here we go.
Two Detroit nerds and Kris. Let's get it.
Oh yeah.
Peace.